I don't think any of this was what I expected, but it was all exactly what I needed. In so many beautiful ways. Me really taking such intentional time to just rest and like just allow myself the space to kind of like have all that stuff process and come up, but in a way that was very natural. None of it felt like I got pushed off the edge of something and I dropped into anything I wasn't ready for. It just felt like these conversations that I've already touched on with myself had the space to deeply process those conversations. The dark really feels like this blank canvas that you get to create your experience on, and as long as you have an honest, authentic intention with it, you're gonna get that sort of experience. I just noticed how much I've been pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself and distracting and avoiding and having these wonderful experiences, but never actually giving myself the time to just sit and take in and just appreciate me and my experience and my ability to just honor that and appreciate that and care for yourself in a way that I've never cared for myself in. You know, it's like that's almost become like a catchphrase for people is self-care, and then you're sat here with yourself and only yourself, and you have nothing to do but care for yourself because you're the one who's there. And it was profound. So many ways. Oh, I'm so grateful. Like how slow everything is at first, but then you start to get this rhythm with it and you start to feel comfortable. And there was points I didn't realize until today and yesterday where I would be so immersed in my own inner world I forgot I was in the dark. Like I would like be in this huge thing in my mind and just exploring these things and having such vivid inner experiences, and then you like look up and you're like, holy crap, everything's pitch black in here. Like you just become so immersed in what you're doing, you have to like remind yourself you're in this space. But I mean, there's the comfort and the beauty of it is like you just slip so easily into it, and I thought I was going to have a lot of issues with it, but you adapt really quickly and it just becomes this new way of being that is just so normal and natural. And the first 2 days I just slept and slept and slept, and I needed that. Like that was the best sleep I've ever had. But then afterwards you sit with yourself and you're done resting, and what do you do? And for me, it was yoga was what I did first. It was just something to get my body moving. And then I had this experience of like, I didn't really know chanting, but I knew singing, and I used to sing a lot. And I sat down on like, let's see, I went in fully on like Thursday night. Yeah, so like by about the time I hit Saturday, I went to sing, and I realized I hadn't sung in so long I forgot all the words. And that was almost its own impact for me, an insight that it was like this was a way you just would express yourself, and like it's like the songs are the words of the soul. Like it doesn't matter the words you're saying, but like you expressing that was so deeply healing for me. And here it is, I've gotten to a point where I forgot the words of the songs I used to sing, and so I actually went back through it just slowly, and they all came back to me. And I think that was one of the most grounding experiences, is just getting lost in opening up my voice again, that had been hidden for so long. Just sing and pray and just express everything that's been wanting to be expressed for just so long, and I never had the space to do it. I had a huge thing while I was resting those first few days of like, how tired have I actually been? Like, is it just as simple as I'm in the dark and so there's no light to stimulate me? But like, how exhausted have I been this whole time? And then how much am I able to just sit and rest, even if it's not sleeping? But my meditation has never been so deep and just natural and calm. It's okay just to sit with yourself. And if If you need that rest time, then use it intentionally as rest time and not avoidance time. And that's just going to be a daily practice. Just sitting and just taking in and appreciating. And for the dark, for somebody who's not been in there, recognize that you're safe. You can be safe in yourself. And sometimes even in our normal day-to-day lives, we don't feel safe in ourselves. We don't feel like we can sit with ourselves and just be present and just be safe. And the dark gives you a container to have beautiful experiences in. And there's going to be some hard ones too, but that's where you practice self-love the most. Like, it's easy to say self-love when everything's going well. But when things are really getting stuck in those loops of just negative feedback and just negative self-talk, like, how do you practice care and self-love then? Because that's when it matters. And once you work through that is when you really understand. And that was my experience in a lot of ways. Finally, you hit this point where you realize that that negative self-talk isn't you. That's just all these voices outside of you that you've taken in and that you've become familiar with. But familiar doesn't mean it's healthy or normal or a part of you. And when you finally give yourself the space to move through that without panicking and being like, I gotta go, but that's not how you grow. You grow when you sit with that and you recognize it, and you can finally give yourself the space to say, that's not me. This is me. The simple things were what made it profound. And once you did that, it opened up the world of all these inner possibilities. And that's where I like really had my mystical experiences that I was looking for. Was kind of like, once you stop looking for it, it arrives and you're like, whoa, hold on, I need a break. This is intense.